What up? What up? What the fuck is up, bros? What? Alright, guys. Alright. So, as soon as I get this fucking thing, watching from Tijuana. Good deal. Good deal. So, we're going to do an unboxing here in just a few minutes. Smash that like button. We got 2 people in here that ain't hit the like button yet. Thank you, thank you. Certainly appreciate it. I'm getting things set up here, and then we will get to moving along and talking and whatever and unboxing of a new addition to the collection. Oh, whoa, whoa, what'd I just find? What did I just find? That's old. Well, we'll play that next in the queue. Awesome. Yeah, we got a box, a new box for the collection. Good evening, Sue. Good evening, Tom. Good evening, Jamie, Ethan, Patrick. Reptile fans, trolls, people. How are we? Armando. Yep. The virtual reptarium. So anyway, we're gonna do an unboxing, and I'm gonna do something that I have never done so far on YouTube. Let me figure out how to start a fucking pool or something. Hey guys, this may buffer for 1 second. Stay right here. I'm not going nowhere. I'm just fixing the chat. There it is. Well, I can't figure out why, but I can't start a fucking pool. Hell yeah, that's fine, Jamie. That's fine, brother. I'm just gonna pin a comment on here since I can't start a pool for some fucking reason. Damn it, man. But I'm going to do something that I haven't done here before. I'm going to actually put it on here for, I'm going to accept donations for the next few streams for a specific thing. I want to buy a monocled cobra. It's $800. I'm willing to put $400 out of my own pocket towards it. It is ready to breed. I have a male that's ready to breed. So I would like to possibly buy this monocled cobra and document the whole process, you know, from breeding her all the way through to hatching the babies. So I'm going to see if anybody wants to participate in that. If they don't, that's fine. You know, if they do, cool. You know, either way. But I'm going to see if I can pin a comment about it. Yeah, it'll be pretty cool if anybody wants to. Yeah, we're gonna open that box here in just a minute. Just a minute. I'm just trying to put this message on here so I can pin it real quick. Don't leave if this buffers. Give me just a minute. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. I got the pinned message there. So any fucking way, like I say, if anybody wants to contribute towards that project, cool. If not, that's cool too. I may end up buying the entire thing myself. I'm just not sure whether I want to put up the whole 800 or not. Because I already have so many damn snakes. But for those of you who watch all the time, I figured it might be an interesting project that you want to follow or something. Who knows? Whatever. But either fucking way, let's go ahead and do an unboxing of a new creature. It's not a new species. Nah, that's Cash App, brother. That's Cash App. But it's a new creature, not a new species, but it's a pretty little fella. It's a pretty little fella. Whoop. There you go. Hey, little guy. Doo-doo. It is a blizzard leopard gecko. Woohoo! Not a snake. This one is a blizzard leopard gecko. Now, the monocle cobra that I'm talking about was actually the thumbnail picture for this live stream. The fuck is a digital volcano, Ethan? Oh, okay. Sue has a blizzard as well. Cool, cool, cool. This little dude. Let's get you a little bit of a close-up. He's all white with red eyes. Oh, it's a vape. Gotcha. Hey, little dude. What's up, little dude? Hey. But I can't control myself when I go to the pet store. It won't eat. Oh, man. Have you assist fed it yet? Yeah, it is. Very cool creature. It's a young one. It's a juvenile, but we'll grow him up and you tried assist feeding, okay? Darn, man. That really sucks. Yeah, this was just a Petco. I was surprised to see a blizzard at Petco, to be honest. Petco fucking basically, there's some breeders out there that just, end up producing too damn many, and they sling them to Petco. And you people, unless you know what you're looking at, you have no idea what it is. So to Petco, this is just another cheap leopard gecko. Um, but if you know what you're looking for, you'll fucking be able to score some good deals. Oh yeah, the one that had the mouth rot, is that one doing okay? But there you go. It's hard to see the red eyes in the camera, but his eyes are actually red. I don't know why it won't show up on camera. Like there we go. You can see it a little bit like that. Awesome, awesome. He's doing great. He was the one I was concerned about, but now have you tried bumping the temperature up a little bit in his enclosure? The one that won't eat. Like if you bump his temperature up, give him some belly heat. He's got red eyes. It's just part of the blizzard morph, from the albinism. Okay, awesome, awesome, yeah. I mean, I will put a little bit of thought into it, Sue and Tom, and I will talk to you. I'll send you a couple text messages. See if there's a couple other things to maybe try to see if you can possibly save the little dude. Unfortunately, and I'm not talking bad about the store that you got them at, but for the one to have mouth rot when you got it, and then this one to be acting like this, I, I don't know that that's the store to buy your fucking creatures at. What up, Zom? Okay, he's the one that got smashed. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, okay, it wasn't a store. I understand. I understand. Come here, little dude. You can't please these fucking trolls, Jamie. You can't please these fucking trolls. Don't even try. Don't even try. Fucking losers. But here in just a little while, I got some rodents thawing out tonight. We're going to do some frozen rodents. We're going to feed a couple of snakes again tonight. Probably talk about a couple of them, do our normal. Yeah, I know it, Zom. I watched it. I watched it. It was annoying as fuck. Where you going, little dude? You keep coming out of frame, Bubba. Here. There you go, little dude. I've been playing Final Fantasy yet. Yeah. So anyway, guys, again, I told you this is the Blizzard morph, and the Blizzard morph, it is a recessive genetic trait in leopard geckos. Basically, it means that a gecko must, get two copies of the Blizzard gene, one from each parent to show the Blizzard appearance. If a gecko has only one copy, it will look normal, but it'll be het or heterozygous for Blizzard. Visually, the Blizzard leopard geckos, are known for being, patternless, like you see here. Just like, the Blizzard monocle cobras and, basically any Blizzard reptiles, But instead of the spots, and bands that you see on a lot of them, they'll just have smooth colors, that they can range anywhere from white and gray to kind of yellowish tones. But as they age, their color will, change slightly, but they never really develop the typical leopard gecko patterning. The Blizzard genetics, become especially interesting, whenever it's combined with other morphs. A good example of this is, whenever the Blizzard's combined with the Tremper albino and maybe the Max Snow gene. I know you don't know what these are for some of you, but maybe you can look it up a little bit and and check it out. Areas like Pakistan and stuff, Patrick. But they can, whenever you breed these together, you can produce, ones that are real famous, like the Diablo Blanco and stuff. They're an all white gecko, with really red eyes. Like this one has red eyes, but it's not super red like the Diablo Blanco. And now, as this gets older, I might be pleasantly surprised to find out that it is a Diablo Blanco. It just shows really how recessive and codominant genes, can interact to really make entirely new morphs and appearances. Basically, the Blizzard morph is just a great example of how recessive genetics work and how selective breeding can highlight or, combine traits to produce unique and beautiful animals. Okay, yours are the Max Snow. Gotcha. Hell yeah. This will get to about 8 to 10 inches long, total length, Armando. Basically, in terms of breeding, really understanding, Blizzard genetics, just, let's, guys, like myself, I'm not a huge, leopard gecko breeder, but, I am a snake breeder. I've been into breeding, all kinds of snakes for many, many years, but, it really allows us to predict outcomes, like, the, basically you're using the if you remember in school, the Punnett squares, like it just managing, genetic diversity, basically. You're able to, avoid a bunch of animals that you didn't intend, you know. So instead of just throwing a couple animals together and hoping for something cool, you're able to really selectively do it and produce animals that people are going to love and care for, and not just, you know, have a whole fuckload of normal looking animals that nobody wants to, you know, buy or care for and all that, you know. So that's a big reason that I get into the morphs and everything. All right, Jamie, I'll talk to you later, brother. Thank you for stopping, man. But you know, whenever you have a recessive, you know, careful planning, you know, is really required, you know, to consistently produce, you know, visual animals. Um, but again, you know, the blizzard just, you know, the blizzard leopard gecko and even the blizzard monocle cobra are more than just a visually striking morph, you know. They're just a perfect example of, you know, recessive inheritance, you know, gene interaction and selective breeding, you know. And they're very important for, you know, educational study and, you know, reptile genetics and stuff. You know, when somebody clicks through the stream and they see something like a white leopard gecko, like it, there you go, guys, you just see how he's licking his eye right there. That's actually how they keep their eyes wet, you know, they lick their eyeball. So that's just a pretty cool little thing, you know, that something they do. But yeah, and eating bugs. But whenever I have a, you know, a morph, you know, a all white cobra or an all white leopard gecko or an orange fucking rattlesnake or anything like that, you know, anybody will stop to check out a crazy cool looking animal like that. You know, now if I put just a normal, you know, if I put just a normal, you know, rattlesnake out there on display or something, you know, very few people are going to want to stop by here and check out the animals and everything, you know. They're just going to sort of flip through like, ooh, that's a snake, the hell with this, you know, or ooh, that's a lizard, I don't want to see that. But when you have something that's just, you know, bright white like this or bright orange or, you know, whatever, people, you know, take a minute to really stop and, like, you know, check it out. And while they're taking a look at the visual, you know, visual aesthetics of the thing, I'm in the background running my mouth saying a bunch of shit, and maybe something will stick with them. And we're able to, you know, start replacing fear with, you know, education and replacing fear with respect and different stuff like that, you know, to maybe help, you know, help some of the pointless, senseless, you know, killings of animals and destruction of their habitats and things like that. And example, Armando asked me, you know, I think, or no, it was Patrick asked me, you know, just a little bit ago, you know, like where are they from and stuff, you know. Like I say, they're from all over, you know, South Asia, you know, to you know, Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, Iran. I think they're even found in Nepal. Um, but they're always found, you know, in the rocky deserts, you know, the scrublands, the grasslands, you know, anywhere that the climate's really hot, dry, and very harsh. You know, they're very adaptable. Um, and you know, to live in these kind of conditions, the leopard geckos, you know, have developed, several very, very smart adaptations, Obviously, one big thing is that they're nocturnal, they come out at nighttime to avoid that extreme heat, during the day, they hide in burrows or under rocks and stuff, just trying to stay cool and stay safe from predators. um, they have very thick, bumpy skin, and it helps protect them, and reduces, like water loss through evaporation and stuff, or perspiration, whatever you would call it. Um, and another thing is their tail. Like when you look at their tail, you notice that the tail on a leopard gecko is actually, pretty fat. Let me try to zoom in on his tail here. Their tails are actually pretty fat. A lot of lizards have fairly skinny tails. But leopard geckos, store the fat, in their tails, and they use that, as energy whenever the food is scarce. They feed on insects, and that's all they eat is insects. But that really has taught them to become very efficient hunters and stuff. Uh, and all these adaptations just allow leopard geckos to thrive in places where survival can be extremely difficult. Now, as far as the breeding process with these guys, in the wild, the leopard geckos breed, during the warmer months and stuff. Usually, it would be the springtime and early summer, and that's just because the food's way more plentiful during those times. Males usually, attract the females through, noises. They make real gentle noises, and tail movements. And then once they do mate, the females develop eggs internally, and later she'll have one or two eggs at a time. Um, she will generally, take or find a, warm hidden area, to make a nesting site, areas like moist soils, burrows or under rocks, and it just protects the eggs from predators and from drying out. Over the breeding season, a female, can lay several clutches of eggs. The eggs incubate in the ground for several weeks, and then the temperature of the soil plays an important role in development. Um, Actually, I might have this backwards, but the higher temperatures will produce, more females, and the lower temperatures will produce more males, or all males and all females, whatever. But so yeah, they are temperature dependent on whether they're going to be male or female when they hatch. And when they do hatch, they are fully independent from birth. They immediately hunt small insects. And they got to avoid predators on their own. Basically, this independence, combined with multiple clutches each season, really helps leopard geckos maintain very healthy populations in the wild. Despite the challenges that a lot of reptiles face that we talk about on the virtual reptarium all the time. And like as I've tried to explain yesterday a little bit, they're a very great beginner reptile, because caring for, captive leopard geckos, is basically just providing an environment, similar to their natural environment. They got to be in a secure enclosure, proper ventilation, places to hide. Um, and because leopard geckos are ground dwelling reptiles, a pretty wide enclosure is better than a tall one. If you use a tank, the tank should basically have, like three hides: a warm hide, a cool hide, and a moist hide to kind of help with shedding. The temperature is the most important in my opinion. Leopard geckos need a warm side of the enclosure and a colder side so they can regulate their body temperature. They need a heat source, sort of like an under tank heater, like a heating pad. And the temperatures need to be monitored, with a thermometer. Um, I'm saying all this because that's the proper way. I don't personally use thermometers and stuff, but again, I've been caring for reptiles so long that I got a pretty good idea. But one of the other nice things about leopard geckos, unlike a lot of other reptiles, is, leopard geckos do not require any strong UVB lighting or anything. But a regular, day and night light cycle is important for them, so they need nighttime and they need daytime. And again, their diet is, mainly live insects like crickets, mealworms, roaches, and the insects, you should dust them with a calcium powder, or other vitamin supplements, or even gut load the insects. And always make sure they have fresh water, available. Like, uh, keeping them clean and, gentle handling, is also, a huge, huge role in proper care for animals. Um, the enclosure should be cleaned pretty regularly to prevent bacteria. I would say, once a week, maybe every 2 weeks is a pretty safe, bet to clean their enclosure. I just use chlorhexidine. You can pick it up at Tractor Supply by the gallon for like $20, and then you dilute it with water. So 1 gallon of chlorhexidine will last you a very long time. Even myself, with having over 200 snakes, and tortoises and everything, a gallon of chlorhexidine will still last me fucking 90 days. But with the proper care, these leopard geckos can live a long, long time. They can live 20 plus years, and just, healthy animals, make excellent pets. I'm going to check on these rodents here, see if they're anywhere near thawed out, and see where we can go with that. Yeah, they're pretty damn close. Yeah. Yeah, hell yes. Very, very easy to care for, very inexpensive to care for. They're just a great pet all around, like Zombulin just said. It's, it's a very, very harsh way to say this, but it is difficult to kill a leopard gecko. So that's not a thing saying, if you're not going to take care of them, to go get one because, you're probably not going to kill it by just leaving it in the cage and not paying no attention. But, reality is they're, very, very hardy animals. You never get an animal just because they look cool, Always make sure you're going to love them and care for them and stuff like that. Like, I'll give you a good example, you can pick up a leopard gecko for anywhere from, $10 to a couple of $100. But a good example here is Sue Tom on here. She got some leopard geckos. One of them, when she very first got it, was showing signs of mouth rot. And she paid more for a vet visit for that leopard gecko than what she paid for the leopard gecko. At least in my opinion, she did. I don't know what the vet really charged, but a typical exotic vet. it would have costed much, much more for the leopard or for the vet visit than what the gecko itself costed. So that is proper care. That's showing you care about the animal and doing what's right for the animal. Yeah, $30. That's a pretty average price. For a leopard gecko, pretty average. Um, yeah, but if anybody wasn't in here when I first said this, okay, y'all's was $20 a piece. Yeah, yeah, great price. Okay, you got a albino and a max snow. Hell yeah, yeah. But if anybody wasn't in here when I first said this, as you see at the bottom there, pinned, I have my Cash App up there. The reason I have that up there is because I have the ability to purchase an adult female monocle cobra. It's the one that you see pictured as the thumbnail for this video. That monocle cobra is $800. I'm willing to put $400 out of pocket towards it. I'm trying to, possibly take donations for the, remaining 400. And purchase that cobra, and then I would like to document the entire process, from the time that we pick her up all the way through to us breeding her, and her laying eggs and, the hatching process. I would like to document all of that on live stream for y'all. If you don't want to, and be involved in this project, I understand. I'm not twisting anybody's arm. I've never asked for donations on this channel. I don't like to ask for donations on this channel. I just figured it's an opportunity, for a pretty cool series if anybody's interested. And basically, the donations would show me that y'all are interested and, devoted to following it. So if nobody ends up donating, I may end up going ahead and buying the thing anyway. I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I might. But if I do, if I purchase it all myself, without any help from it, I probably will not make sure that I'm so religiously into documenting the whole process. Of course, I would still show her and I would still show the babies and stuff, but I wouldn't show the whole process and, take my time and energy, to do it, so. Yeah, Tom, that'd be cool, but just hold off until we see if anybody else is going to. So, if anybody else is going to do it, cool. If they don't, I don't want to take, I don't want to take your money, until I'm sure what's going to happen. There you go. You see him licking his eye again. Again, that's a very common, thing for leopard geckos. So, yeah, I'll definitely keep you posted, brother. I really appreciate the offer. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. I figured I would, over the next couple of nights, I would run this, deal and, put it out there, for people who haven't made it in yet, and stuff. So, I have. Let me see what he said. There is a time limit that he gave me, so let me check real quick here. Let's see. Where's your fucking messages, Michael? Let's see. Come on, bitch. Okay, so I have till the day after tomorrow. So I will run this for the next 2 days, and we'll see where it goes. And I will definitely keep you posted. But I think these rodents are about ready. So I'm gonna grab a couple of smaller snakes here, and we'll watch them eat, and then we will move on to the bigger ones after these smaller snakes eat. Let's see. Let's take her first. Come here, big girl. Jesus. Okay, where the fuck? There they are. Okay, so I need this. Bam. She don't waste no fucking time. I'll adjust the camera. She don't waste any time at all. Yeah, Vetvilles are a bitch. You know, and that's one of the parts that a lot of people don't understand with this hobby. You know, I spend a ton of money on this hobby, you know. With the number of animals I have, you know, it's, you know, you got feed costs. You know, even though I breed a lot of my own rodents, I still have to buy some sometimes, you know, like these frozen ones. I purchase all of these, you know. The live stuff I breed. But even on the live shit, sometimes I gotta purchase those, you know. I gotta feed the fucking rats and mice, you know. Um, I gotta, I gotta feed, you know. Oh shit. I gotta, you know, feed every single week. So this is a southwestern speckled rattlesnake. She comes, this specific color morph is found in one very, very small spot of Arizona called Yuma, Arizona. Oh shit. No, girl. Nope. Nope. Here. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Eat your mouse. Eat your mouse, ma'am. Yep. Gotta feed the feed. And, you know, just my rats alone, I feed them dog food, and then I feed them fresh produce. Now, the fresh produce doesn't cost me anything, but the dog food, I feed 100 pounds of dog food a day to my rats. So y'all do the math on how much fucking the money I spend on dog food. Nah, I had the door of the cage open, Armando, and it was just gonna come out of the enclosure. That's all. But yeah, so at Tractor Supply, for a 50-pound bag of the dog food that I use, it's that cheap ass Retriever brand dog food. It's $31.99 a bag, and I gotta go through 2 of them every day. And I'd buy 2 50-pound bags of horse pellets. They're these really big fucking pellets. They're like 3/4 of an inch in diameter roughly, and they're probably 2 inches long. But I give those in between, like, you know, they always have horse pellets on their rack, because it gives them something to chew on and shit. You know, it's not super nutritional for the rats. But that's like $17.99 or something like that, like $18 basically for, you know, a bag of that. And I go through, you know, 2 of those every 5 days, you know, for the rats as well. It is a southwestern speckled rattlesnake. This color morph is only found in Yuma, Arizona, and it's actually just south of Yuma, Arizona. It's not right in Yuma. Now they will cross over into Yuma, but it's a very, very small area. Very small area. If you try to find one of these in the wild, it can be done, but it's kind of like finding chicken teeth. Yes, Sue, I do. I buy pallets, yes. If I was still in Pennsylvania, it would be so much better because I can buy it by the damn ton up there, you know, but I can't find anywhere here in Horry County to buy feed by the ton. They just don't sell it that way here for some reason. I really wish they did, but just like the wood pellets, you know, that I could use for bedding up in Pennsylvania, I can buy that by the ton for very, very cheap. But down here, I have to literally spend like $12 a bale for cedar bedding because I can't get them pellets. Now there's no local mill here. I can't find nothing. There's one place that considers themselves a mill, but they bag it all up into the 50-pound sacks, and they won't sell it any other way. It's fucking crazy. But anyway, that's the only reason. Hey, if there's anybody here that hasn't hit that like button yet, please smash that like button for me. Just double tap center of your screen, give us a thumbs up. But that's the only reason I decided to, you know, do the donation thing on this snake, you know, because like I say, all this time that I've been doing this, I haven't done that. And, like, I just, I spend a shitload on everything else. And I'm at a point with the snakes to where I don't want to be, spending a shitload of money anymore, buying many more, unless there's something super, super special. And, if I'm not careful, the warden's going to get my balls. I'm not sure about what's a co-op, Sue? I don't know what that is. Maybe there is something like that. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely worth checking out if it's something that's, a possibility. Appreciate that. Whoever smashed that like button, thank you, thank you. Now this rattlesnake here, as a baby would sell for around $1,000. A bunch of farmers sell products to a local co-op, usually a little bit cheaper. Okay, I'll have to check into something like that, Sue. I know that there's the feed mill I was telling you about. They sell to this little auto parts shop. It's called Todd's Auto Parts. And they sell the bags of feed a little cheaper than other places around. But again, they won't sell by the ton or nothing to me. Zom, I don't know that I will feed the new cobras tonight, but I'm definitely going to show them. What up, Silent Nights? Hell yeah. Yeah, I got to look into what you're talking about there then because I imagine there's got to be something around. The big thing is Horry County and Georgetown counties. There's not a whole terribly lot of farm, activity. Being a beach town, vacation town, there's not a lot of that kind of stuff going on around here. Now, I would, possibly drive, within 45 minutes to an hour from here if it was going to save me enough money. Yeah, the country area, I could, maybe check out in Marion County or Florence County and stuff, and that's within an hour of me, so I don't see why that wouldn't work, I'm gonna check that out for sure. definitely, because it would definitely cut down. Basically, right now, when I break it down, down to the individual rat. For me to produce my own rats, it cost me right at about 43 cents the last time I figured it out. But if I have to purchase them, they're anywhere from $5 to $10 a piece, depending on size. There was none in Florida anymore. Yeah, yeah. So I may run into the same problem. I don't know. I'm gonna check around though. Now that I know that they call it a co-op and stuff like that. I'm able to look into it a little because I didn't know nothing about anything like that. But now that I do, that might be very beneficial. Oh yeah, rats get super expensive, super expensive. If you have to, example, if you have to break down and go to Petco or PetSmart to buy a live rat, you're gonna pay fucking like between $15 and $18 for a live rat. And if they find out you're feeding it, they won't even sell it to you. Hell, even the Home Depot tubs are fucking, about anywhere from $10 to $13 a tub. So, and that's for just the small, the smaller tubs. So, the hobby gets very, very expensive whenever you get up into large numbers of animals. Like I say, Ralph, my tortoise, he eats a pile of fresh produce every day the size of his shell. And, that's huge. So now I don't pay for a lot of the fresh produce. I have to purchase very, very little produce. I go to Aldi's grocery store in their dumpster and I get produce out of there, fruits, vegetables, lettuce, all of that. And then I have another produce joint called Stevens Produce that they call me once a week. And when the produce very first starts to go bad, when it gets a little brown spot or something like that, they will call me and they'll make me a huge pile of stuff, to pick up for the tortoises. And then I'll just cut away any bad spots on the shit and feed it to them. And I've been doing that with Pee Wee and Ralph. I don't think y'all ever met Pee Wee. Pee Wee is very old. He is one of the original imports. What's that, buddy? No doubt everything has got stupid expensive. Yeah. What would you recommend for mites? Or are we talking about mites on a snake, Zom? If you're talking about mites on snakes, I would recommend you need to put your snake on paper towels, remove any bedding out of the entire rack. If you have them in a rack, or if you, let's just assume you have one snake, I would remove all the bedding. I would clean his enclosure very thoroughly. I would put paper towels in there instead of any other type of substrate. I would soak the snake in just clean water for about 30 minutes. And then after 30 minutes of soaking in the water, I would put a few drops of blue Dawn dish detergent in the water. Make sure you do not skip the fucking 30-minute soak prior to adding the Dawn dish detergent. It's absolutely vital because when you first put that snake in the water, it is going to drink. So let it drink all the water it's going to drink. And then after it's finished drinking and don't drink anymore, go ahead and add a few drops, maybe a half a teaspoon or so of Dawn dish liquid. After, and it's got to be the blue stuff. Do not use any other color, any other scent, only the blue stuff. And only Dawn. Do not use a cheap knockoff. It needs to be Dawn and Dawn only. I can't stress that enough. And anyway, so about a half a teaspoon of that in the water. Mix it up. Let the snake soak in there for about another hour. And then after that, I would take him out and I would wipe him down with paper towels. And I would put him in his enclosure and I would repeat this process every 7 days for about 6 weeks. It should not take the full 6 weeks, but I would repeat the process for 6 weeks just to ensure that everything is gone. Now, even though they are gone and you don't see any more, make 100% certain you completely sterilize his enclosure every single time that you soak him, and make sure that you fucking clean everything in that entire room, because the mites, they can lay dormant for a very, very long time, and it will hit certain conditions that will cause what's called a mite bloom, and that's when they will get active again, and then you'll start seeing them again. So yes, use 70% rubbing alcohol and spray everything inside the enclosure, around the enclosure, all the little cracks and stuff. I mean, everything. Are you experiencing mite problems right now, Zom? Yeah, this snake is fairly friendly. Yeah, Joyce. This is a rattlesnake. This is a southwestern speckled rattlesnake. But yes, it's got a very, very docile temperament. Okay, I will tell you what to do, Zom, to verify whether you have mites or not. Grab the snake, take a paper towel. Do not get it wet or nothing. Just take a dry paper towel, hold the snake by the front third of its body. Lay the paper towel flat in your hand to where you're going to grab your hand around the snake and your paper towel is between your hand and the snake, and slide the paper towel with a little bit of pressure down the body of the snake. And after you do that, look at the paper towel. If you see any little streaks on the paper towel, you can confirm mites. If you don't see any little streaks or little black dots, you don't have any mites. Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with her judgment. But you can get scared easily about mites. I have seen many, many things over the years and thought, oh fuck, I got mites, and it turned out not to be. So I would just do that little paper towel test just to confirm. But regardless, it doesn't hurt to start the process. Speaking of the devil, where is she tonight? She don't like virtual no more. What a fat bitch. You're right with you guys. I'm sorry here. I'm not able to see the comments or nothing right this second. I'm almost done now. And then we're going to swap out these snakes for another one, feed another one. What's up, Ashley? No, the mites would not come from mice or rats. The mites would probably come from, bedding. I'll tell you one horrible culprit for mites is cocoa. The cocoa blocks or the reptibark, whatever you want to call it. That shit is horrible for mites. Um, Alright, so let me move this snake out the way and grab another one. Let me adjust the camera where you can see something while I do this. We'll show the little guy here. Fucking tripod. Sonia, please buy me a tripod. All right, let's see here. Fuck your face. Okay. Let's get the camera moved over. Yeah. Now, this girl is a little picky sometimes. So, it's hard to say if she's going to eat or not. We're going to find out, though. Yes, Patrick, you can. Absolutely. You can put the bedding in the oven for sure and kill the mites. Personally, myself, I use, it's called No Float Cypress Blend Mulch. You can buy it right at Lowe's for about $3 a bag. I've been successfully using No Float for many, many years. Actually, this right here, this right here is No Float mulch from Lowe's. So it's very cheap. Like I say, it's like $3 and something a bag. It's Cypress Blend mulch, and I've never had a single issue with it. The only downfall to it is when you first purchase it, it is always wet. So you want to get it. I usually bring it home and I have a tarp I lay on the ground and I spread it out on that tarp and I let it dry for a day or two. You can dry it quicker by blowing a big fan at it. In Zom's case, Ashley could just blow on it. You know, she has enough hot air in her that she would dry it real quick. But it works great. Very good stuff for very, very cheap. What up, Cayman? What up, brother? Oh, fuck. There we go. No. Hey, nobody said about blowing. We said about hot air. Get your mind out of the gutter. You're only 13 years old. You can't be talking like that. This is Bethany. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Bethany bit it. So, Bethany will eat today. That's good. Good deal, bro. I'm glad you're feeling good, feeling better. Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I thought you were being a sicko. Goddamn gutter mind. Fucking gutter mind. Man. Jesus. Alright. Yes, this is a family channel. Guys, you're looking at a tangerine albino western diamondback rattlesnake. This girl is about, let's see here, November, December, January. She is about a year and 3 months old. So she's about 15 months old. She, if you check back, early on when I started posting videos of the reptiles, early on you will see some videos where she got bit in the face by another western diamondback. Actually, last night we fed that little western diamondback. If you remember, we fed him a pretty large meal, and I was concerned about him, not eating that large meal. He is the culprit that bit her in the face, but she survived it. She has done very well since then, so no complaints. Yeah, she's been a good girl. I like her. For a western diamondback, she is relatively calm, pretty laid back. Anybody that knows, western diamondbacks or knows rattlesnakes, they know that western diamondbacks are usually very extremely defensive species. And as you see these snakes, after they bite, especially the rattlesnakes, you see they bite the rodent, and then they will sort of, go to it. They'll crawl around. They'll go back to it. They'll crawl around some more. They're checking their surroundings. They're making sure that there's no predators around where they're safe to go ahead and eat. Because while they're eating is, just about the most vulnerable time for the animal. So yep, she's examining the mouse, she's checking her surroundings. But she will eat it here. She'll get back to it here in about a minute, and you'll actually see her go ahead and take a hold of it here, probably pretty quick here. Yep, there she goes. She's taking a hold of it now. I figured it would be really quick here before she did. I'm going to have to go zoom that camera out a little bit so y'all can see this. I hope I don't make her spit it out while I do this. I doubt she'll spit it out, but you never fucking know. There we go. Let's see if I can back this up a little bit. There we go. All right. So, there we go. Well, I was going to say, Zom, somebody asked me, I thought it was you one day, asked if I had any spitters, and I said, yes, I have one, but I don't know whether anybody caught on to that. Wonder where old erectile dysfunction is tonight. I got a couple other new animals today too that we will have to take a look at here in just a bit. start setting the tripod up for the next feeding here. What's up, Dick? What's up, Bubba? Yeah, the chat verbally interrupted him. Guys, Bobby Joe disappeared. I don't know where the fuck Bobby Joe went. What the Tom, take a collection to get you and a new adult female, huh? Hey, it's your own fault when Sue fucks you up. I guess maybe. I guess we'll find out tomorrow if that's the case. I don't know. I think she got called out for being a troll, is my opinion. But who knows? What you putting in that there washer?
Rice.
Alright, we'll wait on these. Maybe Frank got her. Hey Bob, what's up, dude? Did you get that skin off your head? Yes, you did, dude. Yep. I sprayed him down good and he got her. Alright, well, it appears as though Bethany has finished up her meal. So, let me see what the battery level is here. If we got enough we got enough battery here. We're gonna move the camera out here. We're gonna do this right here. Let's zoom out for now. Okay, let's see if I need to go up a little higher. Right there. Right there. We will adjust accordingly. Okay. Now, Bill, what's up, Bubba? What's up, Bubba? Let me go get you a rat, dude. I know you smell them. You're moving all over the place. Hang on. Let me go get you one. Let me go get you one. Let's see here. I want the smaller of the two. What is that? I think this is the smaller of the two. So, let's load you up, Bethany. There we go, girl. We'll get you some water here in a minute, girl. See, here's the scissors. Alright, Bill. What are you up to, Bill? Let me get a hook, dude. So I can tell you're gonna be a butthole already. I can tell you're gonna be a butthole already. So let me get a hook to deal with you. Alright. I got a hook, Bill. Now I'm not afraid to wrestle with you because I got a hook. Alright. See if I can't open this lid. Hey, Bill. No, get in there, Bubba. Hey, get in there. No, sir. Hey, no. No, sir, Bill. Come on. Come on, Bubba. Hey. Bill. Hang on, Bubba. Guys, I can't tell if he's in frame or not. I'll have to look here in a minute. find my phone so I can check up on this shit here. There it is. Okay. Yes, sir. West African Gaboon Viper. West African Baboon Viper. You know, I got a bunch of sissy-ass pit viper snakes. They don't strike. They just gently take their fucking food. Little sissies. Come on, Bill. You need to slam that thing, dude. Wham! No, we gotta be all gentle like a little puppy dog. You're not a puppy dog. You're a baboon viper. Yes, sir, the master of camouflage. Bill's going to check his surroundings here. Stop it, Cobra. You don't scare me. Little tiny Cobra. I'm not scared of any of my snakes. They're defanged. I pulled their fangs out. So they're not venomous no more because I took their fangs out. But guys, I actually forgot to do something that's, you know, pretty important to me when I do this stuff. So I'm going to now, guys. I'm going to say a short little prayer. So if y'all don't mind, you know, just a minute of silence in the chat and stuff, just while I say this prayer. And as soon as I finish the prayer, get on back to it. So let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for the gift of knowledge and the wonders of the natural world. As we learn today about one of your most fascinating and misunderstood creatures, grant us the understanding, grant us the respect, and grant us the wisdom. You know, help us to appreciate creation not only, you know, for its beauty, but also for its purpose. And as always, please keep the pointy end of these animals the opposite direction of me while working with them. Amen. Alright guys, you may commence on the chat. So anyway guys, as you can see here, we're taking a look at the West African Gaboon Viper. You know, nobody really needs to get nervous, you know. I'm sure, you know, this thing can't reach through the phone and get you or anything like that, you know. But the Gaboon Viper, you know, is scientifically known as Bitis rhinoceros for the West African Gaboon Viper. There is also a close relative, Bitis gaboonica, is the East African Gaboon Viper. The West African Gaboon Viper actually has the horns on the nose that you see here. Anyway, they are native to West and Central Africa, especially in the rainforest, you know, the woodlands and like the savannas. It's really one of the most, you know, remarkable snakes in the world, you know, and not because it chases people, you know, or or not even because it hisses dramatically, you know. It's just because it doesn't need to, you know. The snake has a lot of confidence. This snake has the largest fangs of any snake on the planet. It has the largest venom yield of any snake on the planet. And it is arguably the fastest striking snake in the world. And I said arguably because the death adder may just take the cake. But anyway, let's talk a little bit how it looks here. The Gaboon Viper is often, you know, said to be one of the most beautiful snakes on earth, you know. Its body is obviously covered in that intricate pattern, you know, those triangles and diamonds and, you know, zigzags, and it's got all them different shades, you know. I wish you could see it in person because the colors are like brown and purple and cream and black, you know. Honestly, you know, if snakes had fashion designers, this one would be wearing, you know, luxury brands. You know, but beauty is not really, you know, for decoration. It's their camouflage. You know, when the Gaboon Viper, you know, lies on the forest floor, you know, among the leaves and stuff, it becomes invisible. You know, you can walk right up on it or right past it, you know, or even worse, right onto it and never even notice it, you know, until it's too late. This is not a snake that, you know, jumps out yelling, surprise, you know. It prefers the quiet approach, you know. And then there's the head. You know, the Gaboon Viper has an enormous, you know, head like Zombula. You know, it's very broad, you know. The only difference is the snake's is triangular. You know, so it's, you know, so wide that it looks like it doesn't quite match the rest of its body. You know, if snakes wore hats, you know, this one would need a custom size. This is one of the largest and heaviest vipers in the world. They can grow up to 6 feet long, even a little bit bigger for some individuals. They're very, very thick, just like Ashley. And, you know, they're not a slim, speedy snake, you know. It's the heavyweight champion of vipers like E2. But don't, you know, let that slow movement fool you. The Gaboon Viper holds a world record, you know. As I said, it's got the longest fangs of any venomous snake, you know. Some of them over 2 inches long, you know. That's longer than some people's house keys. And yes, they do fold neatly back when they're not in use, you know. Sort of like switchblades, you know. Nature was, you know, clearly not joking around when it made this snake. You know, so let's address the big question that everybody is thinking, you know, how dangerous is it? You know, the Gaboon Viper has extremely potent venom, very capable of causing severe tissue damage, bleeding, and shock. You know, it also delivers a large amount of venom in a single bite. This is important. You know, the Gaboon Viper is not aggressive. The snake does not go looking for trouble. It would much rather stay still and be ignored. Most bites happen because somebody accidentally steps on them, you know, or tries to handle it. So really the Gaboon Viper's motto is if you leave me alone, I'll let you live. And that's pretty fair to me, you know. Unlike a lot of snakes, the Gaboon Viper, you know, rarely strikes, you know, but it does do its huffy hissing that you heard, you know, in the beginning here. But they rely on the stillness, you know, and they'll wait, you know, sometimes for hours. The patience, you know, of this animal makes it an excellent ambush predator, you know. It feeds mainly on small mammals, things like rodents and birds, and even occasionally monkeys in the wild. You know, when the prey comes close enough, just a lightning fast strike, you know, and dinner is served. The snake, you know, just waits calmly as the venom does its work, you know, no chasing, no drama. You know, honestly, if humans had this level of patience, you know, traffic would be a whole much more, calmer experience. And even though they have a fearsome reputation, the gaboon viper, as all the other snakes I talk about, play a vital role in their ecosystem. And again, they control rodent populations, they help prevent crop damage and the spread of disease. In other words, even though they look a little scary, it's actually helping humans. You just, keep a safe distance from them. And this kind of reminds us that, every creature does have a purpose, even Jason, and even the ones we fear. But the gaboon viper is often killed out of fear, yet it possesses little threat when it's left undisturbed. Habitat destruction and human, expansion are actually much bigger threats to the snake than what the snake is to us. It doesn't want to be a villain in anybody's story. It just, wants to lie in the leaves, mind its business, and eat an occasional rodent. So what can we learn from the West African gaboon viper? I say number one is that silence doesn't mean weakness. Just because something is quiet doesn't mean that it's not powerful. And as I say with a lot of the other snakes, beauty and danger can coexist. Just admire it from a distance. This applies to snakes and sometimes women. And just respect nature. Most wildlife conflicts, happen when humans ignore boundaries. So, guys, in conclusion to all this, I say the gaboon viper is not a monster. It's a marvel of evolution. It's beautiful, it's efficient, it's calm, and it's powerful. It teaches us respect, it teaches us patience, and just the utter importance of understanding rather than fearing what we do not know. So, the next time you see or hear, gaboon viper, don't just think of danger, think of balance, think of design, and be thankful that such an extraordinary creature exists. And, preferably, I guess, not in your boot. What's up, Bill? You done already, fat boy? Are you done already, fat boy, fat boy? Just like you, Tom, huh? Alright, so that, my friends, is Bill, the West African gaboon viper. Bill is a nice boy. Bill is a very, very nice boy. He don't like to bite. He don't like to strike. Bill only has one eye. As you can see right now there, his left eye is no longer any good. Bill was bit in the eye by a rat during a live feeding. So it has, costed him his left eye. So we got to be extremely careful when feeding Bill now. That's why Bill gets frozen nowadays, because we don't want to damage his other eye. But Bill is about 4.5 feet long, just a little over that, and Bill weighs just over 17 pounds. So what I say to you guys is like you see me use a hook when I pick him up. What I tell you is go out there and put three or put 2 gallons of milk on the end of a shovel, and try to pick it up by the end of the handle, and you'll see why it's such a struggle picking up these gaboon vipers sometimes. Come on, bitch. Ah, fuck. Sorry, Bill. No, get your butt down there, boy. Go on. Get in there, boy. Hey. Bill. Get in there. Bill, hey, get down. Get down. I gotta get the, you know what, we'll get it later. I'm not gonna fight you right now, okay? I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm not gonna fight you right this second, buddy. Alright? Alright. Now that we have an agreement, okay? Okay, there you go, Bill. Now, let's go get a mouse for... Let's see if anybody can tell me who's making all that racket. Who's making noise right now? Who can make a guess? God damn it, Cobra. Relax, boy. Relax, boy. Relax, boy. Yes, sir, Tom, you got it right. You got it right. Zom, that is a heavy-ass snake. However, I have one almost double that. I don't know if you've ever seen her yet or not. But I suppose we could take a look at her real quick. Nope, not Bethany, Tom. Bethany is the little rattlesnake we just fed. Ugh. Alright. Let me shift a couple things around here and then we will get us a look-see. This one is Miss Sue's favorite. Let's see where the pointy end is. Of course, she has the pointy end up, waiting to put her head out. I don't trust her the way I trust Bill. As I always do for my comparison here, I will show y'all this. Let me get a hold of it correctly. But guys, here's something to judge the size of this snake. There you go. Now, that should tell you the girth of this thing. She's already got a name. Her name is Bertha. Otherwise, I would name her Ashley because she's a fat ass. You did have your B's mixed up. But yeah, so she is, 3 to 4 times the thickness of a Pepsi can. That snake is fucking enormous. She is over 6.5 feet long. And when I got her, she weighed, what was it, 27 pounds, I believe it was. But she, according to my scale, my bathroom scale, when I weighed myself with her, holding her with the hook, it appears that she weighs 32 pounds. Now, I don't know if that's accurate or not because of holding her out on a hook like that, but yeah. I have not had a clutch from her. Bill, yes. My old female had passed away. I had a wreck last November, not this past one, but the November before. I had a wreck on Interstate 95 in my RV where a Penske box truck, one of the biggest ones you can get, hit me from behind on about 90 mile an hour. An illegal immigrant fell asleep, or I'm sorry, not illegal immigrant, an undocumented person. Sorry, YouTube, I apologize for the word, but they hit me from behind, and I ended up, I had some snakes on board, and she ended up passing away. However, I do have a baby from her, and after we're done looking at this girl, I will show you Bill's and Huffy's baby. And Huffy's baby's name is Baby Huffy. So, we will show you her in just a bit here. Yes, a criminal for sure. Abso-fucking-lutely. Well, I guess the only news that we can say that came out of this is that driver of that Penske box truck is no longer with us. I had the RV and I had my Jeep on a tow dolly, and I was, headed up north. And on top of my Jeep, I had like 30 sheets of cabinet grade plywood strapped to the roof. So when this guy hit the back of us, and I can show y'all the news clip of it, but that plywood was fucking on the roof of the Jeep. So when this box truck hit us, the plywood actually went through the windshield of that Penske truck and took the dude's fucking head off. Oh well, it happens. It happens. It happens. But yeah, so we ended up getting Bertha, to replace her, and Bill and Bertha have been paired up. I'm gonna pair them again soon, so she may end up producing a litter. We're not going to feed this girl because she don't need to eat right now. She ate about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago now, but we're going to let her wait just a little bit. Yeah, it fucks you up a little bit, man. Call me a cold-hearted fucker if you want to, but honestly, bro, when that happened, I got out of the RV. I went back there because the engine on the fucking box truck was just revving wide open. And I got up in that box truck, to try to tell them, shut the truck off. But when I opened the door of the box truck, climbed up on there, there was no telling him anything. So I reached over and shut the truck off. I climbed back out of there, and I fucking, went and there was cars, spinning out on the interstate and stuff because of the wreck, and they couldn't see it as they were coming around the corner. So I got my family out of there and way down into the woods off the side of the highway and shit to make sure they were safe. And then I went back up in and started yoinking snakes out of there. I had venomous snakes loose inside the RV and stuff. It was a clusterfuck. But anyway, where I was going with this, call me a cold-hearted fuck, but I'm not bothered even a little bit by it, bro. The guy shouldn't have been fucking doing, driving like that, bro. I mean, he shouldn't have been here in the first fucking place. But then to drive like that and destroy, fucking $150,000 worth of my shit that the insurance company is still arguing with me on because Penske don't want to pay for it because the guy didn't have insurance himself. Nah, fuck that shit. Oh yeah, it's a litter with her because she don't she don't lay eggs. She has live birth, but that's all right. Litter, clutch, whatever, you know. But yeah, so this is Miss Bertha. Now, I'm going to put Miss Bertha's lid back on, and then I will show you Baby Huffy. And as I said, Baby Huffy took the place of Mama Huffy. After Mama Huffy passed away, I did luckily get her litter before she passed. So, you know what? I might be able to show you Baby Huffy. Wonder if I can do this. Yeah, let me see if I can do this. Let me try something here. See if I can do it without, you know, causing myself or Baby Huffy any harm here. Hey, Baby Huffy. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, girl. Come here, pretty girl. Hey. Come here, pretty girl. Hey. So, guys, now, I'm going to leave her in just for a second. Let me try to adjust the camera where y'all can see her. And I'll zoom in just a little so you can see a size difference. Here, I adjust the light to do this. Come on, bitch. Come on. Go on up a little. There we go. There we go. Right there. Okay. So, anyway, guys, this Baby Huffy there is just over a year old, obviously. And you see the massive, you know, size difference, you know, from the time they're born. You know, when they're born, they're about a quarter of the size of Baby Huffy, roughly. And then they just keep on growing until you have a massive snake like you see there with Bertha. So let me get Baby Huffy out of here, close her up, and then we'll take a closer look at Baby Huffy. I just don't want her to get bit because it will kill her. And not because of the venom, just because of the sheer length of the fangs. So, no. So yeah. Hey, Bertha. There you go, Big Bertha. There you go, girl. Okay, let me get this camera. And maybe I can actually closer look at her head. There you go. There's Miss Bertha's big old head. Oh, you bitch. Come on. There you go. Yep, they have live birth. Yep. Yeah, their fangs can get over 2 inches long. Live birth, Silent Nights. Yes, sir. Let's see here. What's this lid? Okay, this lid is safe. So let's see here. We will do this. We will sit this like that. And we will put the camera back up here like this. Okay. Let me get my hook right here. It's all right. It's all right, Baby Huffy. All right, Baby Huff. Hey, come here, girl. Now we can come back out again, girl. Here. Here you go, big girl. Here. Here you go, big girl. There you go. Okay. So, anyway, it's very difficult, like I say, to see the colors, you know, on the camera like this. But she got a lot of very purple and pink hues to her, and some very impressive yellow in her pattern there down her dorsal. So, Thank you. She is a pretty girl. She definitely is. She's just like I like my women, you know, short and fucking thick. But she's 280 grams. No, I don't know how much she weighs, but I like my women like I like my chicken, with a little bit of fat on the end. Not too much and not too little, just enough to make me grin. I like my women like I like my chicken, with a little bit of fat on the end. Not too much and not too little, just enough to make me grin. She does have more pinkish looking. Yes, absolutely she does. What are you doing, big girl? You know, these guys have an impressive strike range. Impressive. So I gotta be careful, because I don't have nowhere to run where I'm standing. So they have an impressive strike range. Who the fuck's hissing at me? Stop that shit. Stop that shit. Hey guys, anybody here that has not already done so, please smash that thumbs up button for us. And if you feel so inclined to do so, send us a donation so we can buy a new Cobra. I've never begged for money before, but I'm trying to tonight. And if anybody has already donated, thank you. I just don't know if anybody has yet or not, because I am streaming on the phone that has Cash App on it, and I do not have notifications turned on, so I'm not able to tell until after I end the stream. But if you have already, thank you, thank you. Oh yeah, we will buy the Cobra and a matte black Lambo with the donos. For sure, we're going to get a matte black one. Maybe we'll buy a matte black Cobra. How about that? And we'll name it Lambo. And guys, if everybody helps me raise the $400 I need to raise, we can name the thing Jeannie Bishop. We will name it Jeannie Bishop. Or we can name it Adrian. I don't care what we name it. We can name it whatever. Oh, okay. Yeah, she don't regurg. She swallows it all. I forgot. She does. I see a couple more people just stopped in. If you will, guys, smash that thumbs up for me if you haven't already done so. Let's help get this out there to a few more people so I can beg more people for more money. I see other people that say they're homeless and they can get people to pay for a fucking hotel room for a week for them. You know, so I got to be able to beg a little bit somehow. That's right, son. Hell yeah, I do. I for real. I see other guys on YouTube, every single night saying, "Oh, I'm homeless, boo hoo hoo," while they're puffing on a fucking Newport, staying in a luxury hotel and shit. And they have like a thing up on the screen saying, "Oh, I need to raise, $400," and they'll say, 395 of 400 reached so far, and stuff like, what? Like what? Crazy, insane, insane, crazy. What's up, pretty girl? What's up, pretty tiny girl? What's up, little pretty girl? Hell yeah, it's crazy, 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 crazy. So, guys, hang on a second, guys. My son's calling. 1 second. Sorry guys, my son was calling. I had to take that a minute. What's that? Always wiggle room. What the fuck are we saying here? Guys, look, I need to raise $300 or $400 by morning, or the cartel's gonna have my hide. Guys, this is serious. You know, please send your donations to J&K Cabinetry on Cash App. It's hashtag J&K Cabinetry. If I don't get this, I'm done. I'm dead. I'm just unalive. That's all there is to it. So, what it is I was accused of having relations with this man's daughter, even though it's not true. So she told me that her dad needs $300 to $400 by morning, otherwise he's gonna come and unalive me. This is serious, guys. What you doing, baby huppy? You're super curious, huh? Hell yeah, Zom. But guys, as you can see, when it comes to venomous snakes, like, you know, you see this girl here, you know, she's been out here laying on this Home Depot tub lid for, 20 minutes or something now. And we just been hanging out talking, she's just been cruising around, flicking her tongue, exploring, she's not trying to come after me, she's not trying to attack me or, anything crazy. These snakes are chill, most venomous snakes are absolutely chill, unless, like I always tell you, you accidentally step on them, you try to hurt them, you startle them, if you scare them, yes, they're going to try to defend themselves, but so would I, so. Let's see. Whoop whoop. This bug juggalos and juggalettes. Hell yeah. What up there, Dysfunction? You're late as fuck. Look, we're on time around here, bro. We don't play that late shit around here. Nah, man, I'm fucking around. I appreciate you stopping in, my man. I bet you he would elbow drop this snake. That son of a bitch elbow drops anything. Hell yeah. Man, you didn't miss really much anything. We fed a gaboon viper. We fed a couple rattlesnakes. And then we just played with her. And I'm trying to beg donations out of people. I'm trying to raise $400 because there's another monocle cobra that's $800 that I'd like to buy. And I'm willing to match $400 to, a combined total donations of $400 to purchase the snake, because she is an adult female ready to breed, and I figured we would document the breeding process, we would document the birthing process, and we would document the egg laying process and the hatching process. We would just make a big old happy series out of it. Yeah, that boy is nuts, man. That boy's crazy. He's a real juggalo. He'll power bomb motherfuckers into thumbtacks. You like this snake, Ashley? It's because it looks a lot like you. It's it's only 15 months old. Like you're 13 years old, so this is 15 months old. It's short and fat. Not that there's anything wrong with short, fat girls. I'm not saying that. It's okay. We still respect the hell out of you around here. Where'd you go, Dysfunction? Did I run you off joking with you, buddy? Your snake sister. Hell yeah. Your sister from another mister. Oh, okay. I thought I run you off talking shit. I just wanted to let you know I talk shit, man. I joke around and stuff. Don't ever take it serious when I, say some shit like that. What's up, pretty girl? But yeah, we just been letting this little pretty girl crawl around, hang out and stuff. Hell yeah, good deal, bro. Yeah, I figured out earlier that you were a jokester. Whenever I told them over there, I never have a problem with snakes regurging after I feed them, by handling them. And you said, yeah, huh, one did last night on camera because Dick threw his fucking mouse when I scared him. I was like, you fucking asshole, telling people my snake regurged, and he fucking just winged that damn mouse out of his mouth. Nah, but yeah. So anyway, we want people to come in and donate so we can buy a Cobra. I'm too poor to afford it all by myself, so. What? Hey guys, after we're done with the Reptarium stream, I got to show y'all this shit. That fucking queer should be sleeping by that time. So, check this out. Check this out. I gotta move the camera a little to show you because I don't want to reach that close. But check it out. After we are done with the Reptarium stream, we're gonna go on to E2 Extra for just a couple of minutes, and I got something for the queer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got 2 of them. 2 of them. Nah, I don't think I'm going to go through the window, but I'm going to belly crawl in there. He's sleeping. I'm going to be super fucking quiet. But I got these 2. And then, guys, I took him shopping over at Lowe's earlier. He has no idea. He thought I was buying parts to install a water heater. Queerdus, does pretty good with, construction type work and stuff, but he knows nothing about plumbing. So I took him shopping over at Lowe's to buy some plumbing fittings to install a water heater. And so he thinks that it's about installing this water heater that I got to do. And it's actually, I bought the parts to make a reusable fucking cannon. And I'll be able to load fucking baby powder in it. I'll be able to load fucking flour, glitter. I'll be able to load any fucking thing I want into that fucking reusable cannon, guys. So, we're gonna get that son of a bitch every fucking night. Every night. Now, I like that little queer. He's a good guy, but I like to fuck with him more. He's a good little queer. Oh yeah, Art is fucked. What up, Diane? Hi, D. Or Diane. Okay, okay. I didn't know how to say it. I'm sorry. I must have seen it weird when I did it. But yeah, hey, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. You're scared? Nah, don't be scared. This is just a little tiny gaboon viper. This little snake right here. This little snake, it don't bite hard when it does bite. No, no, honestly, for real, nothing to be scared of. You're good. Snakes do not want to get you. Oh yeah, I hear you, dysfunction. I hear you. But yeah, Diane, seriously, I understand having a fear, and it's actually healthy to have a fear of snakes, I'll be honest. But honestly, I have proven it time after time again with these snakes that, they just do not want to attack you. They don't want to bite you. Like, look, I actually touch her in the nose and she don't, like, here, I think you just saw that. But like, I touch her, and stuff. She has no interest in actually biting. So, their venom and their fangs, it's not about hunting humans and things like that, It is literally about, hunting food. It's about getting, survival. So if you watch where you step, you don't accidentally step on one. Hey, smash that like button for me, Diane, please. You'd help me out there with the like, and anybody else that hasn't yet hit the like button, I'd really, really appreciate it. But, if you're careful to not accidentally step on one, don't try to kill it, don't try to pick it up. Just give it some space. The snake doesn't want to hurt you, Yeah, and many, many snakes are not venomous. Like example, let's just say a garter snake, or a black snake, Even if you do get bit by a garter snake or a black snake or something, it really does not hurt like you'd think it does. It almost feels like Velcro or something. It's weird. But yeah, guys, anybody who has not yet hit that like button, please smash that like button. I think we're at 24 likes by what my screen says. I'd really like to hit 30 before I end the stream. So if anybody can help me out, that'd be great. I speak a couple of French words. Not very many, though. Yeah, yeah. Like, I speak the French words like, like when I fucking feed the animals, that's one French word. Absolutely, a cat bite is way worse. Way fucking worse. Oh, there's another French word. But yeah, that's really the only French words I know. But, yeah. Now, if you're being serious, and you need it translated to French, we could accommodate that. Where are you going, baby Huffy? You stay your butt right here. Who was the first to feed tonight? What are we looking at? What up, Chromo Chronicles? Why you feed them back-to-back days? I don't know what you're asking there, buddy. I did not feed the white speck yesterday. I just showed you the white speck. I fed the other speckled rattlesnake last night, but the white speck I just showed you. Yeah. Now I fed the white speck tonight. Man, there's not enough time in the day to feed all my snakes in one day either. Where you going, pretty girl? Where you going? Where you going? If you guys see them tongue flicks right now, how they're just very long, you know, very long fucking slow tongue flicks. You know, that's, you can really judge, you know, like it's just a curiosity thing. Basically just exploring her environment and stuff, the environment she's in. Now, a good judge, like if you see a snake, you know, flicking its tongue at you, and it's really got its tongue out there, you know, fucking, you know, just, and it's holding it out and stuff, and like curled up over its head, like you see a fucking, like a prairie or a western diamondback doing it, you can rest assured that snake's getting ready to nail your ass. So, I think I just said a couple of more French words. Come on, girl. Come on, get your butt up there. But what up, backlit? I think Queerdus would like you backlit. If your back is lit, he's able to get her in easy. Definitely not prolapse. Okay. I understand. I thought that already once, but now it's confirmed. Awesome. Nope, come on, girl. All right, girl, I'm about to put you away so we can move on to the next one. Okay? All right, come on. Let's move on to the next one. Hey, girl. Come on, girl. Come on, big girl. Hey. Come on, big girl. Here. There you go, big girl. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Now I understand it all. Now I understand it. Like I say, I had a suspicion, but I wasn't fucking sure. And I didn't want to ask. Alright, let's move on to another... Fucking bitch. Let's move on to another snake here. Oh, yeah, guys. I showed you this snake last night, too. And you remember the color? Oh, shit. I did something wrong here, guys. Hold on. What the fuck I got going on? There we go. But I showed you this snake last night. Son of a bitch, man. I'm struggling. Okay. But anyway, I showed you this snake last night, and you mentioned his colors. Well, the little feller decided to shed today. So, there's your explanation on the colors. Alright, I'm just moving a couple of things out the way, because I got shit every fucking where. Where the fuck is... Where's my high-tech phone holder? There it is. high-tech phone holder. Now, don't bite me a second, Bob. There we go, buddy. Good. I say is by far the absolute most defensive snake I have ever owned. Let me clean. I gotta sterilize my hook quick. That is correct. Bob does like long walks on the beach and candlelit mice dinners. Okay. Come here, little dude. Here. Come on. Let me poke you out of here. Come on. Come on, Bubba. Hey, come on. Come on. Come here, little tough guy. Come on. Here you go. Sit up here. Come on. Come on. Let go of my hook. Let go of my hook. Come on. Let go of my hook. Let go of my hook. Come on, bro. You're a fucking ninja. You're a ninja snake. Whoa. 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 Watch. Whoa. 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 Come on. Get off that hook. Come on, you little dick. Come on. There you go. Okay. Here we go. So, this little snake, live feeding, guys. Boom. Whoa. Oh, of course you spit it out, you jerk. You do it every frickin' time. Every frickin' time, bro. There you go. Well, are you going to spit it out? Are you going to spit it out, or are you going to keep a hold of it? That is not an eyelash viper. That is a Tremorosaurus purpur maculatus, also known as the shore pit viper. This guy is about 1.5 years old. When they are born, they are about the size of a friggin' nightcrawler. His name is Googly Eyes. And as Sue said, he is good entertainment. He soaks shit with venom and he fucking bites everything. Mm-hmm. He bites everything. All right, let's see here. Googly eyes. Let's see. He is a shore pit viper. They are also called a mangrove pit viper at times. So. Oh, fuck, ouch. Guys, this snake right here, you know, what the fuck is that? God damn it, get in there, you little bastard. Get in there. Alright, so anyway, guys, as I was fucking saying here, you know, this guy here is the shore pit viper. You know, their scientific name is Tremorosaurus purpur maculatus. And if it's said fast and correctly, it's Tremorosaurus purpuromaculatus. But anyway, this snake, is a good example of, how animals adapt to, very challenging environments. And again, like all the others, how they play a very important role in the ecosystems that it lives in. This snake here is native to like Southeast Asia, countries like Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Myanmar, Singapore, and as the name, suggests with them, they're most commonly found, in the coastal areas, especially the mangrove forest, and that's why they're also called the mangrove, pit viper. They're found in like the tidal swamps and stuff and the muddy shorelines. They're not like a lot of other snakes, that avoid water. The shore pit vipers, really thrive in the wet, salty environments, where very, very few other venomous snakes can survive. It's kind of a unique habitat, and it makes it, one of the most specialized pit vipers in the world. One of the first things that people notice about the shore pit viper is the appearance. The snakes are, a medium-sized pit viper, and they usually get, somewhere around, I don't know, a foot and a half to maybe 2 feet. Some a little bit larger, I guess, maybe up to 3 foot at the very, very max. But their colorations vary a lot. They can be anything from green, gray, brown, purplish, or even black. Some of them are even darker, with spots or blotches along their bodies. The pattern just provides great camouflage, because they like to hide down in like the mangrove roots and stuff with the wet leaves and the muddy ground. And again, like every other pit viper, they got that triangular head, the vertical pupils. They usually have a thick body, but these guys are, kind of slender. I will show you an adult example here in just a bit after this guy finishes eating. But like all pit vipers, the shore pit viper, has, those highly advanced sensory adaptation, the heat sensing pits, and it's located between the eyes and the nostrils. It just allows them to detect infrared radiation, or body heat for us dumb people, from the warm-blooded prey, even in the complete darkness, or in low light conditions, whatever, So basically at nighttime or in dense vegetation, and they strike, with just amazing accuracy, even when it's completely dark. The shore pit vipers are nocturnal, and that means they're most active at nighttime. But during the day, they rest a lot of the times in the mangrove roots, or the low branches. At nighttime, they become efficient ambush predators. They mainly eat, birds, frogs, and lizards in the coastal areas. They do prey on other animals that move between, land and water, just kind of really just taking advantage of the biodiversity of the mangrove ecosystems. One of the most important and feared aspects of the shore pit viper is its venom. The species is venomous, and its bite can be dangerous to humans. The venom is hemotoxic, and again, as I explained, that means it attacks the blood and tissue. It causes horrible pain, swelling, internal bleeding, and tissue damage. But it's important to understand that the shore pit viper is not aggressive by nature, and I hate to say that because it is very defensive. But, most bites occur when the snake is accidentally stepped on, disturbed, or handled. If you just leave them alone, they typically prefer to remain still and rely on their camouflage rather than fuck with you. And even though they have the fearsome reputation, the shore pit viper, plays a huge role in the ecological systems over there. And again, they control rodent populations, other small animals. It helps maintain the balance in their environments, It's really important, in coastal regions where the rodent populations can grow rapidly and damage vegetation and spread disease. In this way, the shore pit viper contributes to the health and stability of the mangroves. A lot of people don't know it, but just one single pair of rodents, let's just say a single female mouse and a single, or rat, and a single male rat, in their lineage over 1 year can produce over 20,000 offspring. So that's just a ridiculous number of offspring. So if we didn't have these snakes, we'd be fucking waist deep in rodents. And the mangrove forests themselves are extremely valuable. They protect the coastlines from erosion. They serve as nurseries for the fish. They're kind of, like a carbon sink, if you will, that, sort of fights climate change. Before the shore pit viper, how do I want to say this? You know, the shore pit viper defends, or depends, really heavily on the mangrove habitats. It can be considered an indicator species. Basically, knowing what this species does and seeing what it does and the changes and all that helps show a lot of different things with the environment. So a decline in the shore pit viper, populations, could signal damage to a mangrove ecosystem, due to things like pollution and coastal development, or even deforestation. Unfortunately, the shore pit viper does have several threats. Habitat destruction is the most serious, just like with every other snake we talk about. The mangrove forests are, cleared for agriculture, tourism, and urban expansion. But these snakes are sometimes killed out of fear or misunderstanding as well, like every other snake. And even though they're not really considered critically endangered, a lot of the local populations, decline rapidly when their habitats are fucked up. Education is key to, changing how people view snakes, and understanding that animals, specifically these animals, are not monsters. They're important parts of nature. We got to help promote coexistence. In simple actions like hitting the like button on this stream and stuff. And wearing, the right clothing and all that kind of stuff can help, get it out there to more people, and it can help protect you if you was to accidentally step on a snake, whatever. And most of all, just preserving the ecosystems in the forests, both here and abroad. All these different things like that can greatly, just reduce negative, things between humans and snakes. So in other words, the shore pit viper is a remarkable example of adaptation. It's an example of survival and ecological importance. Everything from their heat sensibilities, to the venomous strike, of its, just unique mangrove habitat. The snake's far more misunderstood, than it is something to fear. It's just a reminder that even the most misunderstood creatures have a crucial role to play in our natural world. And, by protecting the environments they depend on, we also protect the health of our planet and our people as a whole. Did you eat it there, Dick? Watch this, guys. Watch. Wah, wah, wah. Woo-hoo. Ah, you got me. You got me. I think I'm dead. You got me again. Ah, ah, ah. That son of a bitch will just keep biting and biting and biting. He's a dramatic little fuck. Little dude, da, 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 little dude, little dude. He even starts opening his mouth ahead of time. Look at that. Oh, shit. I didn't even start at the beginning. What are you talking about? I counted 74 times I was going to, but I couldn't concentrate. What the hell are you counting? I bet I have been trolled. What the fuck did I say that we're counting? No clue what you were counting, man. He is about to be the flat-nosed shore pit viper. Nope, I don't know. Sorry, don't know. I guess I said or did something weird. I don't fucking know. Hold on. Are you gonna put it on your fucking mouth?
Not right now. Just tell me what she's on. I don't want to touch it.
Oh, the you know? That it?
Yep.
So I said you know that many fucking times? I guess I get to rambling and don't even realize what the fuck I'm saying. I've been saying it a lot lately. Well, you know what I say to y'all? Fuck you. Fuck all y'all. You know? Fuck you. You know? Hey, bitch. Ooh, little snaky. You know? Good. Ain't no way I said that shit. Ain't no fucking way I said it that many times. Fuck off. I'm listening to my video again when we're done with this. I'm going to rewind this sumbitch and I'm going to listen to it. What up? Is that Jason and Zozo? Zoza? Beautiful neighborhood? Okay. Yeah, it is a beautiful neighborhood. Definitely a beautiful neighborhood. North Myrtle Beach is the best. You didn't say that? Yeah, if it isn't, it should be because it can. You just said, I didn't say that, but yes, beautiful neighborhood. Okay. Smash that like button. Come on. Smash that bugger. All my damn trolls already did it with all their accounts. If you had this beautiful animal, your life would have been short and beautiful. I got you. It is a beautiful animal, and it's got them very large eyes so it can see good in the dark. So it can see real good in the dark time. So it can reach out and bite you. It can bite you. It can bite you. reach right out and bite you. Crikey, there's a snake in the pitch dark. Pitch fucking dark. Guys, I'm risking my life here for this live stream, and y'all just want to mess with me. And how many times I say you know. Sheesh. Yeah, one lousy super chat. Come on, Azosa, smash that like button. I didn't see that like counter go up yet since you've been in here. He could help me in the pitch dark with the fucking hunt. You're right, he could. Nah, we good, dysfunction. We're a dysfunctional fucking family around here. I mess with everybody too, my man. Everyone. We don't give a damn. We don't give a damn. I don't like being admired. It's harmful to the health. Yeah. Hey, thanks for that like there. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You heard me? You heard me? All right. You heard? You heard? I got you, dysfunction. Man, I just stumbled across Pat one day and he had his pythons, so, whenever somebody, shows respect to the fucking snakes, I try to, help them out a little bit. What up, little peeps girl? Ain't seen you in a minute. Nah, but you can come over and hold him if you would like. But this snake ain't going to do the job that you want him to do. But I got a couple that will. This one's just going to hurt and cause some swelling. That's all right, little peeps girl. I understand. I understand. Make sure you smash that like button. We all get busy now and then. Completely understand that. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. You'll give me a like if I send it? I'll send it. I'm still going to send it. Even if you don't give me a like, I'm still going to send it. Good. Good. I'm glad. It's good to hear my voice again. That's what she said. But I appreciate that. Now I offered to send it. Oh yeah, I got some pied ball pythons. Oh yeah. You want to see a big fat one? Here, I'll show you a big fat. Where you at, girl? There you are. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Hey, Tubby girl. Tubby, Tubby, Tubby. Tubby, 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 Tubby. Tubby girl. Marshmallow. Hey. Hey, Marshmallow. She don't want to wake up right now. She's taking a little nap. She's taking a little nappy. And then I got this ball python right here. This one likes scratched on the nose. Alright, guys, so the tongue flicks. Remember I told you it'll be a slow tongue flick where it's out, you know, like, watch, I know he's doing fast right now. He's sizing me up, but you see how it's starting to go out and stay out longer? He's fitting the damn nail my ass. Mm-hmm. So, are you telling stories again? Well, nothing really happened, Zom. I just mentioned it on a stream the last time she was in, and now I ain't seen her since. Bobby Joe. I think Bobby Joe's been a troll this whole time. That's pretty funny, though. That's pretty funny. Man, Bobby Joe been around since like the first or second day I ever live streamed. Hell yeah, that's hilarious as hell. The third snake is more beautiful and faster. Man, here, I'm going to show you a beautiful snake. Alright, it may not be YouTube appropriate. No, I'm just joking. But here, I'm going to show you a beautiful snake here. Ready? Here we go. That's a beautiful snake right there. beautiful. Oh yeah, she's a dedicated troll for sure. Yeah, she got out of hand at first and like, yeah. That's a beautiful snake. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that snake, would you? You want to see a pied cobra? You want to see a pied cobra? All right. I got you. I got you. You're going to have to give me a couple minutes, but I got you. That's all she's ever done, Zom, is want to chat with Sue, but like, I think it's been because she knows she's annoying her. Because, like, it's crazy because like if Sue don't answer her or something, she'll like or anything. Like let me make an example. Like if she says something to Sue, like she'll say, Sue, does Jeffy know that that I talked to you? Almost like I can't see her in the fucking chat, you know? Yeah, yeah. I tell them you're autistic all the time. Yeah, yeah, I remember that, Ashley. Yeah, she asked that too, little peeps girl. I remember that. This is funny shit. All right. All right, big guy. Yeah. Yeah, NYC. There is a Bobby Joe that's a mod on his channel, and ever since I saw Bobby Joe pop up over there, I haven't seen Bobby Joe over here. Nah, hell no, we ain't know her. Yeah, yeah, that's Bobby Joe. Yeah, nah, we just like, ever since the very beginning, we sort of felt like Bobby Joe had special needs, so we always kind of tried to protect her a little bit, and she may still just be, special needs, but she has given some, trolley vibes. What's up, big guy? Hmm? All right, let me let me get a couple of tools ready here, and then we'll take a look at another guy before I end the stream here. Yeah, maybe but the thing is like she was like dropping comments in my other videos with like timestamps on there saying, Jeffy, have you talked to Sue? And she'd put a time of the video like where I mentioned Sue's name or something. Like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, we'll know tomorrow. That was definitely an odd coincidence. Alright guys, so I'm going to set the camera up here, and I don't know the temperament of this animal yet. I have not worked with this animal at all yet, other than to put him in this Home Depot tub. So it's going to be fun. Alright guys, like I said, I don't know the temperament of this animal, so I gotta be super cautious. I don't know anything about this animal, so it's gonna take some time, me getting them out in the new building and shit out when I get home.
What are you doing?
Just gonna open it up so they can see them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's pushing
I
nose
know.
all over the place over here.
He's pushing like a dick, I know it. He does. He's a pusher. He's looking, he wants a girl is what he wants. It's breeding season.
Gotcha.
So.
Gemini 8 is now perched atop a Titan II rocket.
It's breeding season, so he's going to be a little bit cantankerous, I guess we could use the word. And yes.
Two-stage Titan rocket holds enough explosive force to propel America's most massive nuclear warheads across the globe.
Tape. This gorilla takes tough shit.
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, but it needs to with his ass because he's a hardcore pusher.
Yeah, he seems to be.
Okay, now let me get a hook ready. So, guys,
Right in there.
Alright, I will not be reading any comments while I'm doing this. So anything y'all say, I have no fucking clue until I'm done and catch up on the comments. Just simply pop the latch and get your hand back. Okay. Oh. Alright, that's fine. I'll grab it from this side. Okay.
103 minutes before launch. The astronauts are sealed inside the capsule.
But anyway, this guy does not look as big as what he is on camera. He's a pretty big monocle cobra. Sorry, Bubba, but I'm going to be keeping the tongs near you. I don't know you. But I probably should have got a water bowl ready while that thing is cracked open, but it's alright. Hey, little Bubba. Hey, he's actually fairly calm, you know, for a monocle. He's very heavy. He can get a little bigger than what he is. Come on, Bubba. Hey. Okay, no fast movement so we don't scare him.
Yep.
But
stay in orbit. Gemini must reach a speed of 18,000 miles per
but
hour. The astronauts have less than 8 minutes to
come on,
attain it.
Bubba. It's okay. Come here. Hey.
That's not out slow, but very high build up to about 7.5 Gs. Pushing, and it was a great feeling, but a lot of thrust.
I've lost my mind.
The queer says I've lost my mind, talking about himself.
All the buttons were in the right place, and all the signals.
Who else in the world are you going to get to stand here and do this radio? Nobody in their right mind.
Well, that's why you're around. You're not in your right fucking mind.
Obviously.
He's a nice little fella, though. Look at him. He's calm.
Yes, he's calm. He's very calm.
He's very calm. When we get him up to the building and I'm able to tail him and shit,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it'll be better.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't have the room to move here. Like,
Well, no.
there's no room to
He'll
move.
pin you up in a minute.
Exactly. So, once he's up in the building and stuff, you know, we can really work with him and her.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they'll be like pythons in no time, you know.
She's a little more twitchy than he is.
A little bit, you know. I'm going to pull her out after him. But you see, he's rubbing his nose there, pushing,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, he rubbed the spot on his nose.
Yep, and like I say, it's because he's looking for a girl. You know, it's breeding season right now for these guys. So,
The astronauts are hurtling around the Earth.
it's breeding season right now for them. But guys, this is a monocle cobra. This is a pastel lavender granite. You can't really see it because of how old he is, but with the granite, you know, as you can see the lavender kind of color, you know, you can see it more pronounced on his head now that he's older than you can on his body. But as they age, you know, they sort of orange out a little bit in the front third of their body. And then, but when they're younger, you know, with the granite, you know, you can see like little spots or flecks, you know, throughout his skin. But you're not seeing that, you know, because of his age and the camera.
Looks like he's shed.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's definitely going to shed very soon. Very soon. And once he sheds, y'all will get a much better look at his colors. But like, even if you look at his tongue, when he flicks his tongue is purple, you know.
Mm-hmm, it sure is.
His tongue's very, very purple. Yep. No, sir. But, yeah, so I would like to snatch him a water bowl.
Yeah, I'll watch him.
Fucking, you want both hooks? Or you want
Grabbers.
tongs? Tongs, alright. I'm gonna grab him a water bowl quick, guys. So, lay your hook a little bit lower for me a second.
Instead of doing that a couple hundred miles an hour, Try doing that at 17,500 miles an hour in space.
Let me get past you, buddy. There you go.
Dave Scott calculates
Okay.
the delicate
Be right
maneuvers needed to bring the two spacecraft together. Commander and pilot Neil Armstrong steers the capsule through space. Using a hand controller, Armstrong fires bursts from a network of 16 orbital maneuvering thrusters located around the outer hull of the spacecraft.
Neil had a very good touch on controls of the spacecraft. He had a feel for where the spacecraft was and how to get it where he wanted it.
It takes more than 3 orbits around Earth for Armstrong and Scott to catch up with the Agena.
We got inside of the Agena, beautiful sight. It was first just a star, a light, like a star.
Yep, you good.
After we got to it, and we were able to see it form in broad daylight, it was so crystal clear that you could hardly take your eyes off it.
Armstrong performs a series of complex maneuvers to
Okay.
bring Gemini closer to the Agena.
All right.
Everything appears perfect for the world's first docking in space.
All right. Do you have a cup still?
Yep.
I got him.
Yeah.
Good. Yep, we're good.
While Armstrong and Scott wait, systems engineers uplink a pre-planned
He's pretty calm. I just don't know what his demeanor is going to be like whenever I try to tail him or anything. So I'm not willing to do that here in the open or in this area. It's not open enough. Hang on, bud. Let me back him off quick. I don't trust him up behind there as you're trying to do that. So I can't. There we go. Okay. Perfect. That's enough. Okay. Cool. But yeah, I don't trust him yet. You know, because when you tail a snake like this, and you're holding him, you need to be able to spin out, whenever he's turning his head to come back around. Like hypothetically, let's say I'm holding him out in front of me and he starts turning left, to bring his head back around towards me. I got to be able to do a fast spin to the left, and have plenty of room for my hook and my body to make that left spin to, keep his head from getting closer to me, or vice versa. We could go to the right, whatever, up, down, all that. And here in the house like this, we have fucking beds, dressers, TVs, piles of clothes, snake cages, so it's just next to impossible, to safely handle a snake of this size, while in this position. But let's see here. You see his nose there. His nose has, some sort of reddish, scabby spots. That's because he is doing a lot of pushing. He had some of them spots before he came to me. After he sheds, it should clear up pretty good. It might take 2 sheds, but whenever they do get an abrasion or injury, they will shed more frequently. I don't know if I can get him to hood up for us or not. Let me try here. Come on, Bubba. Hey, you want to hood up? You want to hood up? Nah, he ain't even gonna hood. He's not afraid, So yeah, and I'm not gonna antagonize him bad or nothing to get him to. But this snake's probably real close to the diameter of a Pepsi can, I would say. He's pretty close. Maybe the diameter of a Michelob Ultra can or a Red Bull can, something like that. One of them ones that is a little thinner than a Pepsi can. Yeah, not enough space here. Yeah, for sure, for sure. But anyway, guys, I'll close him up and I will bring the female over and show you her. Fucking that blanket touched that. Is there alcohol in there?
Bleach.
Okay. Ain't there a sink in the tub?
Yep.
Oh, you're gonna do the sink? Gotcha. You want your cup? Make your life
I
easier?
got one here.
Okay. Cool.
Gemini 8 and the unmanned achievement vehicle are now effectively one
That
space.
plastic, let's see, that one is for some reason, we're gonna have to put a dry,
Because you're wet.
yeah, we're gonna have to put a dry one in there to get that humidity off of her. I know that it was because she was wet from soaking, but,
I can't have to drive, I'll change the blanket.
yep, that's cool. Yeah, go ahead if you want. You can go ahead and stick her on down. We're good. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so let me tape him back up quick, and I'll go grab the female, and we'll show her for a minute. But overall, his demeanor seems okay. I just want to have enough room to be sure before I go risking it. It's not worth the risk to me for, some YouTube likes and views. I don't play that game, so.
I got this spider walks out really bad.
Alright. It's fine.
Been in orbit almost 7 hours. It is an ideal time to
Alright.
take a much-needed rest. The astronauts start to power down the Gemini capsule. Without warning, the docked spacecraft begins to roll.
Okay.
The astronauts immediately check their flight instruments. They look for a warning light. Listen for an alarm. Nothing.
So it was a very confusing situation.
Alright.
Since all external forces were in balance during the began, the astronauts
She's upset.
at least one of their thrusters must be misfiring.
What the fuck?
Which is it? How can it be done? An earlier warning from ground control points to the unmanned target vehicle. Dave Scott powers down the Agena. Neil Armstrong fires thrusters on the Gemini spacecraft to counteract the spin.
Alright.
The two spacecraft become stable for a moment. The spin resumes with
You
almost
need a water bowl in this one?
Yes.
You wanna go ahead and get that?
Yeah, I get it.
Put you
She actually ain't bad, dude. I've already got the lid open.
The astronauts fight for control of the spacecraft. Their lives depend on it.
Yeah, she ain't bad at all. She's. There you go, guys. There's a hood display.
Because running a small business takes a lot. That's why we're to help protect your privacy score. And we put your business over the student dress score. So while you're juggling everything else like the boss you are, we're the
Hopefully y'all can see. I think you can. Yeah, you can see. But she got a real pretty pattern, and her lavender shows a whole lot more than his because she's a year younger, and she does not have the granite gene. So she is just a pastel lavender. But and right here, if you see where it sort of stay there, girl, where it sort of pinches down right here and then tapers off quickly. That's that's a good way to tell when they're a female. As you've seen for the male, his started tapering way back farther, and there was no dramatic drop off from here to here. So, but overall, You know, again, she seems fairly calm. She does like to put on some hood shows, apparently. She'll probably get over that very quickly, you know, once I get to working with her and, you know, feeding her and stuff. You know, right now she's still just very unsure about things. It's all new to her and stuff. But she is not being defensive, really. I mean, the hood is a defensive thing, but she's not being overly defensive or nothing. She's just kind of,
Bluffing.
you know, bluffing a little bit, you know, sort of letting you know, like, hey, I'm dangerous, you know, back up, leave me the fuck alone, I don't like what you're doing, you know, but as we stand here, as you see, you know, she puts her hood down and back up, so she slowly starts to get used to it. And, you know, that's the thing, like, you see, when you see the guys, you know, on YouTube and stuff, you know, free handling these cobras and stuff, with the part that you don't see, and part of it that really bothers me is when they're free handling, they don't see the guy over there on the other side, you know, of the camera that's waving his hands and his hat and shit like that to keep that snake hooded up and keep his attention on the guy that's not holding him. You know, so, you know, then you get other people who don't realize that's what's going on, and they try to free handle the thing, and they end up with, you know, big problems. So, get you all a little bit closer here. There you go. But yeah, see, now I got her picked up. She put her hood right down, you know, and doing some slow tongue flicks, you know, kind of, you know, the old curious thing, you know. She's not too. Yeah, now she just she's in flight mode now. You know, basically, you know, there's a flight. Here, I got her over this side. There's fight or flight, you know, and right now she's, you know, she don't want to fight. She's just ready to haul ass, you know, and save herself. So, but as you just keep working with her with the hook like this, you know, get her used to it, let her know you're not going to hurt her, you know. Over time she'll quit that flight stuff, she'll quit the defensive hood that you see there, like she's puffing it out a little bit right now because of us being around. Again, that monocle marking on the back of her hood there, that is, you know, to resemble an eyeball, you know, so whenever a predator's behind her, she'll flare that hood out, makes her look bigger than what she is, and it looks like a giant eyeball staring back at them. Like, you know, that's why you'll see, you know, a lot of animals, you know, if you turn your back to them, they'll come towards you. But if you turn around and look at them, they stop, you know, because they see your eyes, you know, the eyes are the threat to the animal. So that's what that whole monocle thing is all about, you know, evolution at its finest.
Just like the big spots on a moth.
Yeah, like the spots on a moth, exactly. Same thing.
And eyes.
Yep, exactly. Same thing. But overall, you know, like that's why I'm able to literally touch, you know, the back of her hood, because, you know, stillness is what she sees as the first line of defense. Now, if I get too rough touching it, you know, she'll start to move around a little, and eventually she'll get pissed off, swing around there, and she'll, you know, likely do what's called a bluff strike. And that's where they strike at you and basically headbutt you. They don't open their mouth, they actually just hit you with their face. Now, that's no guarantee, so you can't never rely on, you know, thinking, oh, she's just going to bluff strike, you know, because she could easily have her fucking mouth wide open trying to kill your ass. But, you know, a lot of times monocle cobras will bluff strike. So, but, you know, new adult monocles are a little unsettling when you first start, you know, working with them, because you just don't know, you know. You don't know their temperament. And now juveniles, they're just dicks all the time.
They're nuts.
You know, juveniles are absolutely crazy. I am actually, you know, yes, we were super cautious with these two snakes tonight because this is the first we have opened the enclosures and, you know, done anything since a couple of nights ago when we picked them up. But I would much rather work with one of these adults than the juveniles any day. You know, yes, if the adult gets you, it's a much larger venom yield if they nail your ass. But that juvenile is more likely to nail your ass than this adult. you know. So the adult's been around a long time and, you know, knows, you know, what's a threat and what's not. To a juvenile, everything that moves a fucking threat, you know. Sort of like Queerdus, you know, everything that moves, it's a threat to him.
Oh, fuck
You know, so he hides a lot.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
So I can't wait till he goes night-night tonight.
Yeah, whatever.
I got something for him.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I like
Nah.
the damn door.
No, I'm going to be fucking shutting the stream down early tonight, buddy.
Yeah.
I am, for real. The old lady's horny tonight.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So. But anyway, guys, so yeah, that's the other new monocle right there. I gotta go get her a water bowl.
Yep.
You want the
Yep.
just in case?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And monocle cobras are ridiculously fast if they want to be.
On the dark side of the earth, there are no original cues to help Armstrong in his battle for control. He is flying on instruments and instinct. This is a moment that Neil Armstrong has trained his whole life for.
He said, undock, I threw the switch, and we pulled off the agenda.
The separation is clean. It appears they have made the right decision. Scott and Armstrong could not have been more wrong.
I could see us back off from the agenda, and that's when we really got our surprise. Because once we got off the agenda, we found out we were not okay.
See?
Watch it. Started.
Yep. You're good.
It takes just seconds for the full implications to hit home. The problem is located on Gemini 8. By undocking from the Agena, the astronauts have made the situation even worse.
Well, the same thrust was on a smaller body, and the Gemini really started to wind up. Well, it got to be faster and faster.
You're good? You're there?
So we probably blacked out.
If they lose consciousness, the two astronauts
Keep your butt in there,
continue
girl.
spinning until the supply of oxygen runs out.
Come on, girl. You keep your butt in there.
Space is the most inherently dangerous environment you can imagine.
Let's get off the agenda and we'll be okay.
Perfect.
No matter how
Perfect, perfect. Okay, girl. All right, little girl. Here, you want a drink? That's one thing about monocles. They crawl, they climb off the hook easily.
You know, we have to slow the damn thing down.
Come on, girl. Look, there's some water. Look. There's some water. You want to take a drink? You want a drink?
185
She's
miles
checking it out. See what it is.
Gemini 8 space capsule spins and tumbles. As it enters daylight, sunlight glances through the window.
It was like a very high-speed spin. And as we were going around, now in daylight, the horizon would show the sun flashing through
Give
the
her
window.
just a minute. See if she'll
almost
take a
like
drink
strobe
before I scare her.
light.
And put the lid on.
Flash, flash.
I just don't want her to associate the water pool with
Something scary.
something scaring, you
Neil
know.
Armstrong and David Scott are spinning at one revolution.
Because
per
it's
second.
different enclosure, different water bowl, and everything what she's used to.
Yeah.
So,
For the straps holding them
everything right now is
the
strange to her.
pinned against the inside of the capsule.
Everything to me in here is strange to me.
Oh, screw you. Screw you.
You fucking pork chop motherfucker.
Asshole. That's an asshole.
Guys, you better enjoy Queerdus's company now, because he may go to jail the 27th.
You can stop with that anytime now.
He's worried about going to jail when driving without a license charge, fucking, on the 27th. I said, you ain't going to fucking jail for that charge, dude. I keep fucking with him, though.
Yes, he does.
Saying it. Sorry, son of a bitch.
muscles, and
Now, I've told all of y'all, and you know, I'm sure y'all would verify it, that Queertus is a good dude. He's a pain in the fucking ass, but he's a good guy.
Try to be.
No, he don't. He don't fucking try to be. Like, he's a lying motherfucker.
Fuck you. Ain't true.
He's got my goddamn lighter, too. Look at that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You thieving fuck.
I gave you two and you lost them both.
I don't know
Had
what
to
to
be
fucking
something.
tell you.
Which is sort of a loss of vision, compression
No.
of your peripheral vision. So we have a
All right, girl, you've had your chance. I'm putting the lid on, so hold down. Okay. All right. So, let me get this dude out the way, and then we'll get her over here.
This is a meal.
Okay.
Saucy chicken.
I think we're gonna move them over yonder so it's a little warmer.
Let's Asiago go. Asiago bagel stack.
Go.
Tuesday afternoon.
Flashing down here. Very different. What do you got? Okay. All right, you ready to get out?
Real strength isn't pushing through pain, it's treating it. When there's no pain, there's more pain. Advil Lipigel's target pain caused by inflammation or fast, strong rhythms. Advil, that's real strength.
All right. So I gotta come over here and deliver a message. All right. So anyway, folks, I guess we're done for the night. I would like to show, you know, Nah, he don't need a lawyer. He's good. Her markings look like a moth. Yeah. She is a pretty snake. Hell yeah. Man, some of them fucking snakes bluff strike hard as shit. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night. As far as it goes with the confetti cannon, I assume y'all are about to, you know, call it a night too, being Sunday night. So I think we'll have to catch the confetti cannon tomorrow. What do you think? Yeah, absolutely. It'll give me a little more time and shit. So, yeah, sounds good, definitely. But anyway, it's been real and it's been fun. It ain't been real fun, but it's still been good. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me for a while and checking out the snakes. And we will do another Reptarium stream tomorrow, but we're also going to do an E2 stream tomorrow. So the tomorrow's Reptarium stream is only going to be probably from, I'm going to go from 8 p.m. until 9:30 on the Reptarium. And then I'm going to pick up on E2 Extra at 9:30. until probably almost midnight. So that should work like that for us. Nah, I ain't heard a word from that little bitch boy. Fuck him. I gave him the opportunity. Fuck him. All bets are off with that son of a bitch now. You know, all he did was is deflect again. You know, fucking, it is what it is. I was nice. I stuck up for him, and he still tried to make himself the victim. And that's exactly what fucking chomos do. So, whatever. Fuck him. Absolutely, Zom. We need to do that. So, Sue, if you will, relay a message to Tom if he's not awake still, and let him know that we are going to do a panel tomorrow night over there on the extra. There you go, guys. There's a good shot of the rattle on this little girl. But yeah, we'll do a panel. So let Tom know. Zom, Ashley, me, Tom. I think Ethan wanted to come on panel. So we'll see, but either way, we'll make it happen. We'll have a chat about this disgusting shit, and yeah. So I'm gonna give this girl a little water while we're doing our outro. Don't bite me, girl. I'm barehanding it. There we go. Don't you bite me. Exactly. You know, all he had to do is say, you know, yes, it may have looked a little bad, but I didn't think of it like that at the time. I apologize. You know, nothing like that will ever happen again, and problem solved. But instead, he made it look like, you know, he was the victim again, and you know, whatever. So I now wholeheartedly believe that he does chomo shit. Oh shit, is tomorrow MLK Day? I guess I'm gonna have to smoke a fucking Newport for him. Martin Luther King Day. Awesome. Awesome, guys. So, any fucking how, I got to put a snake up over here. Let me get this shit out of my fucking way. Have a good one, brother. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night, man. The snake boy's gonna get some rest. Good night, Sue. Thank you as always. Appreciate you, you and Tom. I'm gonna kill this, and I gotta feed the fucking forest cobra. Have a good night.